So, happy Monday. We thought this week we would take an approach. One of the most common questions I have gotten, people know that I work in fitness, in addition to the martial arts, is what are the best exercises to get blank blank for Jiu Jitsu? So, we're gonna kind of take this as a body part approach. As we get towards the end of the week, it'll go a little bit more total body. But we're gonna kind of start off with the legs today. Lower body, legs feed the wolf is one of the expressions. I know a lot of people with a lot of leg injuries who are great martial artists. You make do with what you've got. A big part of what we're gonna be doing today, guys, please note, none of this is really designed for quads of steel, right? None of this is gonna turn you into, glutezilla. What this is meant to do, a lot of the stuff I'm gonna be talking about is like range of motion, mobility. I don't use the word flexibility very much because I think it gets badly misconstrued in terms of what it actually is and what it actually means. So, but range of motion is my version of flexibility. So we're gonna start off right away with one of everybody's least favorite exercises, which are runner's lunges. So runner lunges, just any lunges at all, I find that people have all kinds of challenges by getting the form right. So I get a lot of complaints with knee pain. If I dial down into how to do the lunge with people, and a runner's lunge is definitely a little bit more advanced. I would not recommend you start with these ones. Typically you start with a forward lunge and a backwards lunge. This is a combo platter of the two. But if you can dial down and nail the form on a lunge, I find that people, not only does their knee pain go away during the exercise, they actually lose knee pain, they avoid knee pain on other exercises, which is why I become such a big fan. I used to hate these, I've become a big fan. So we'll alternate on demonstrating?
Sure.
All right, so real quick, I talked briefly about form on a lunge. So if Allison steps forward into a lunge and her knee goes way far above her toes, I don't know if you do it wrong, like so. Yeah, a lot of people get a big forward lean, we want to avoid that. So, if you have a mirror on the outside, if you have a good trainer on the outside, when you bend it, it should be 90 on the hips, 90 on the knees on both of them. So 90 degrees, 90 degrees. But little mental preparation here. As you step in, I want you to think about squeezing front quadricep, back glute. So Allison's gonna step in, her upright shoulders and posture is gonna be on a railing. She's gonna go straight down from there. You get a little forward progression there, so you don't wanna go quite as far forward, so I'm gonna have you do it again. And I'm gonna put a hand right over your kind of the big toe line knuckles, and that really forces the back knee to go back down. So that's a standardized lunge, whether you're going forward or whether you're going backwards. So what's a runner's lunge? It's that both directions. Now these are killer for leg endurance. Short story on this one, I was planning for a big ski trip many years ago, and I was worried about my legs giving out. You go skiing for many days in a row, your legs get very tired. So I did, in between my normal exercises, I did runner's lunges on every set. So I'd do like a bench press, get up, 20 runner lunges, 20 runner lunges. By the end of day 3, actually by the beginning of day 3 really, everybody else wanted to take day 3 off. I was like, no, I spent a lot of money to go skiing. I'm going skiing. I went by myself, I was skiing all day, my legs are good to go. So runner's lunge is, same leg is gonna take and step into that forward lunge, keep that upright posture, ideally without tapping, but if you need the variation, or you're trying to lighten up on the cardio, you can tap in the middle, and then that same leg steps back. So what I really recommend is posture upright, same leg, front to back, and if your knee touches, that's cool, only because we're thinking about range of motion and stabilization. Now there's all kinds of lunge variations you can add in. That's great, that's fun. Nothing bad about any of them. Please note, we're calling this the 3 best leg exercises. That does not make them the 3 only leg exercises, and a lot of these were debated anyway, okay? Number 2, step-ups. Once again, we're talking about stabilization, range of motion. So that's why we have our chair out here with notice the pad to protect the mat. So these are very, very simple, guys. Get something I generally recommend around knee height. So if you look, knee, chair, pretty close. It's not exact, but that's okay. You're gonna put one foot up on the chair. Again, a lot of variations on this one. The most basic is, you're gonna bring your other foot up, step up on the chair, and then back down. Same leg stays on the chair. Now, one easy variation I recommend for practicing on balance is a knee up version of this one, where this outside leg, you bring the knee up to the chest, and then back down. If you wanna work on your balance, go slower. If you wanna work on your cardio, go faster. We do a variation of this one in both our kickboxing classes and our jiu-jitsu classes. If you got knock out 3 of them. You do 15 or 20 of those in a row, you're gonna be breathing very heavy. And don't forget, you have 2 legs. So you do have to do both sides, okay? So step-ups, guys, really simple. Again, lots of variations, lots of things you can add on to that one, but simplified there. Next one up.
Awesome, so deadlifts are one of the leg exercises that's really good for a Jiu Jitsu. Yeah, it's a leg, but it does also have a back component, which is also why it's an important Jiu Jitsu exercise as well. So with this one, many people do come forward and round their spine like this. Think about sticking your tailbone out. The best analogy I've heard from Sensei Paul actually is stick your butt out like J-Lo and really arch that lumbar spine. Yep. Stick your butt out like J-Lo and then literally hinge like a clam at your hips here, so that way your back stays nice and flat, almost like a table. Like if we were gonna sit down and have a nice dinner, the dinner's not getting rolled backwards or straight across, so think about keeping that back as flat as possible. This one's gonna be really important for that lumbar spine as well as those muscles on the back, which are hamstrings. We use those a ton in judo, grappling.
Yep.
We use it because it helps with our balance, so another element of judo, aikido, everything that we're doing does use our hamstrings and that lumbar support.
Absolutely. Now I know some people are going, where are the squats? Well, we have an honorable mention here. Not probably the squats that you were thinking about. So honorable mention, these are one of the ones I'm a big fan of. Again, for me, I'm not training for the most part, world-class athletes, Olympians who are putting their entire day, 6-8 hours of their work is working out and getting recovery. Most of the people that we're working with ride a desk, right? Most adults at this point have a desk job. High school students, grade school kids all have desk jobs. Their job is to professionally sit all day long and focus on their math or their finance numbers, whatever it is that you do. So for me, a lot of the stuff that we work at in terms of like fitness for the martial arts is trying to get people from the desk to the mat and minimize injury. So you notice balance stabilization is a big thing that we talk about. So a single leg sit squat. Do not underestimate how challenging these can be. Now Allison's going to demonstrate. That's one of the reasons we have the chair out here. These are awesome. You can do these any time of the day. So if you just sit down, how do most people sit? They plop. 2 feet, just drop down. And at some point, you're going to give yourself over to gravity, right? So progression number 1 on this one is sit properly. Shoulders back, chest up, and don't drop. Allison's going to sit, sit, sit. And a light landing on the chair. She's in control both directions. Same thing on the way up. Nice and steady. Good. You want to minimize what I call the plop or the pop. Some people, they just plop down, gravity's in control, and then watch the swing on the way up and the hands on the knees like my grandma. We don't want to do those, right? So if you've got control over that, here's how we add a little balance challenge to it. Pick a foot up. Go slow. Same thing. You got to be in control on the lower. You got to be control on the raise. Allison's young and athletic and still challenging, right? Slower you go, the better it is. Good. And again, one way you can change difficulty on this one, sometimes this gets referred to as a pistol squat. You can put the hands out. You can hold dumbbells while you do this, or a single medicine ball, kettlebell, whatever you're using. Sometimes a front-loaded weight helps people counterbalance a little bit. So that could be useful as well, in addition to increasing the challenge. But you want to do these guys, I'd say 10 to 15 per leg. If you're like, I can't stand up on one leg, cool. Sit down really slowly on one leg, bring the other leg in to stand up on both legs. So it gives you an alternative there, okay? So it's already 7:14. We are gonna do a quick stretch out to kind of get your body nice and loose. Do your best you can, guys. We wanna hear in the comments section, what exercises do you guys like? What do you guys use, especially from our martial arts friends out there? I recognize that the old school squat is really popular. There's nothing bad about it. I just wanted to give people some alternatives that they don't think about quite as much, especially because, again, I'm training people that are going from a desk to the mat. Okay? You want to get started?
Sure.
Get inside here.
Perfect.
Sweet.
All right, we'll start with some jumping jacks here.
Little light warm up.
job. A little jogging in place, get those arms loose. Go, throw some punches. Another good arm exercise. Oh, there you go.
Something I'm not
You get the bag. Good kicks. Good, turning and rotating here at the spine. Excellent. Good, you can hang down the middle here. Feet a little bit wider than your shoulders.
Grab so far away.
You can get them a little wider. And you're gonna do a big circle here, arching up and around. When you hit the bottom, you're gonna go the other direction. Awesome, last one for me. You're gonna cross your left over your right. Hang down the center here. Really stretching out the back of our legs, hamstrings. And switch. Excellent. I'll toss it over to you.
All right, guys, so grab onto something if you can, all right? We're gonna take our left knee, bring your knee up to your hip height, keep your hips facing forward, but open your knee to the outside. Keep your knee at the same height. If you can, pivot it up and over, and then again, do the best you can, keep your knee up, and you're gonna extend back out. Hands on something, we're gonna go through that same cycle. Up, out, over, back. And because I'm not trying to kill my balance on this one, I don't mind you guys grabbing onto something so that the focus is actually what's happening at this hip as opposed to trying to balance on my down leg. You switch sides. So again, knee up, out, over, that's the hard part for me, and out. Back up, knee comes out, turn it over, extend out to the rear, do it 2 more times. Again, try to keep that knee up as you pivot the hip over, out to the rear, and again, back up, over. Good. I did squats yesterday myself, so I'm feeling that, okay? All right, so we're gonna finish up, guys, our morning warm-up here with breathing. So a good upright posture, vitally important. Whether you're sitting, that's fine. You can be standing like we are, you can take a knee, kneel down on 2 knees, doesn't matter. You do have to have that upright posture, good spinal alignment. So close your eyes if you can. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Breathe in. You're gonna breathe in for a 4 count. So breathe in through your nose, 2, 3, 4. Now we're gonna hold for a 4 count. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out through your mouth for a 4 count. 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom, lungs empty. 3, 4. Breathe in through your nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top, keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. 3, 4. Breathe out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. On your own, guys, keep that breathing cycle going, nice and steady. Keep breathing. As we talked this week about exercises for the martial arts, guys, your breathing practice is an exercise for the martial arts. So this should be part of your everyday practice, especially if you guys are like grapplers or intense strikers. Having control of your breathing, guys, super important. All right, last one, big breath in, big breath out, kind of clearing the system, if you will. So it is indeed Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Again, hope you had a good weekend. I always think about the weekend as a time to rest up. I was lucky this weekend. I got to participate online, virtually, and help facilitate some online training with the Violence Dynamics crew and the Chiron training crew. I looked at Zoom a lot this weekend. My brain's a little Zoom weary, so excited to do Jiu Jitsu on Zoom today. So we have our HIIT kickboxing, just taught a great 6 a.m. class. We have 9 a.m. open, 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. And again, if you want to come to the on-demand times in between, you're welcome to. Just give us a heads up, shoot us a message. We can probably accommodate you. Our jiu-jitsu classes, we have 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock for the kids, regular schedule this afternoon. Adult jiu-jitsu, 6 p.m., 7:30 p.m.
15.
7:15 p.m. My brain's not 100% on the COVID schedule, so it keeps changing too, which makes it more challenging. You sending us off with a dad joke?
I do have a dad joke.
Oh, dad joke. Dad joke Monday.
So why are bees' hair sticky? Because they use a honeycomb.
I was like, honey has to be in the answer somewhere, but
they brush their hair with a honeycomb.
very cool. So, Instagram, thank you for your patience while we were setting up the Facebook Live this morning. As always, guys, like and comment down below. So again, if you have leg exercises you particularly enjoy, lower body exercises, we'll kind of open up to say lower body. Let us know. We're always kind of curious to feel what the other feedback is. Some people might value squats over deadlifts. That is, if you've been a fitness trainer for any amount of time, squats or deadlifts are like, you know, it's Coke versus Pepsi in the fitness world, if you will. Patriots versus everybody else, I don't know. So
Which one would Patriots be then?
Patriots are the winning ones, I don't know. Well, maybe not this year. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you guys on the mat.
See you soon.
Now we gotta figure out how to shut all this new stuff down.